Welcome, music lovers. Long Slice Brewery presents Discovering Downey.
Hey, it's JD here, and I'm joined by my pals Craig, Justin, and Kirk from Chino. While our love for the hip unites us, Gord's solo ventures remain uncharted territory for our trio. Hence, I've gathered this team of enthusiasts to delve into the musical repertoire of the enigmatic frontman of the Tragically hip, the late Gord Downie. So come along with us on this exploration as we navigate through his albums one by one in chronological order, embarking on our quest of discovering Downey. We've assembled quite the motley crew here to talk about Gord's oeuvre, and we're excited to do that. We're going to do this all summer long, so buckle up. Fellas, how are you doing?
Not too bad.
Living the dream.
Amazing.
Excellent.
Excited to go on this jaunt with you gents, for sure.
Yeah, it should be pretty fun.
I agree completely. I am from a hip-starved area of the world, which, I guess most of the U.S. unfortunately was hip-starved for a long time, but specifically down here in the L.A. market, I got to see some amazing shows in really small places, but to find a hip album in a record store or, anything that comes close to a hip reference for me, I get all giddy. So when we connected to talk with other hip fans, was pretty exciting. But then just to learn more about Gord, this is going to be quite the adventure, my friends, quite the adventure.
Yeah, I think so. What do you think, Craig?
Yeah, I've been sitting in this room, my office / music room, with a couple of unopened Gord CDs that I have collected over the years and just looking for the right moment, I guess. And along came that moment. And thanks to you, JD, to make this happen and to bring me on board.
But I am but one hand on the rudder. The other three hands you see belong to Kirk, Justin, and Craig. So there's that. Justin, tell us about your experience with the hip.
The U.S. is hip-starved for the most part, but growing up in Vermont, we are just Quebec Junior, and we get a lot of TV and radio stations down here in the greater Burlington area. So I grew up with hip on the radio, and I didn't really know anything about them, but in high school, I discovered Phantom Power on my own. That was it. I've been hopelessly, blissfully lost ever since. My dad was kind of a hip fan, but, I think he was from like the old, the hip crowd that they were trying to get rid of in the 90s, and so when I came along, it was music at work and, kind of the newer stuff that the old man probably wouldn't have liked too much. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I got to see 3 hip shows, and I was at the show in Ottawa 2 nights before the finale, which was really amazing. I got to see him in a basketball gym in Burlington, and I got to see him in a bar in Albany, New York, and I feel like I got a pretty good sample size.
How about you, Craig? You have a unique role in this trio as well with your Tragically hip experience. Share some of that with us.
Yeah, I've been a big hip fan way back, going to probably grade 8 when I first heard, I think, New Orleans on the radio, and I liked it, and I didn't buy the album right away. I was into heavier stuff at the time. I was a big GNR fan, and I was kind of a metal guy. Then I heard 38 Years Old, and funnily enough, I thought it was Tracy Chapman at first. When I first heard the voice, the vibrato, and it was just on faintly in the background. And then I kind of turned it up, and this is a good tune. And then they announced it was the hip, and so I went out and got the CD. I think I maybe ordered on Columbia House through my parents, or 5 CDs for a penny or whatever. And
we got 12 here in the U.S.
Yeah. And yeah, I've been a huge hip fan ever since. And I've been to, I think, maybe 15, 16 concerts. And about a year and a half ago, I started playing in a hip tribute, and it's just been a blast to sharing the music with, the fans who don't get to see them anymore. And I wish they were still around and I could quit my job as a hip tribute guitar player, but unfortunately they're not playing anymore.
I wonder if there's a Tracy Chapman angle. I wonder if we can get Luke Combs to cover some hip stuff and get him on the mainstream radio.
Nice. That's a great idea.
It's actually not.
Well,
I don't think I want to hear that.
No, but I'm definitely giving them the credit they deserve. And man, Craig, like I seriously got goosebumps when you mentioned Tracy Chapman. Like if you guys saw the Grammys, that was performed, and Tracy just sounded amazing. And I hadn't thought of it from that perspective, and I think you hit that spot on.
I haven't looked it up, but I'm guessing if you look up the release date of Fast Car and up to here, I'm going to guess they're within a year.
So let's start at the start here with Coke Machine Glow. Kirk, any nuggets that you gleaned from production notes, anything like that you gathered on your fact-finding mission?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually did, because I'm a musician as well, and do appreciate what goes into making an album. There was some pretty good information out there, and especially knowing the Hips catalog, and they've had some different experiences from different producers and engineers, and different recording experiences. So of course you're going, well, I'm going to get a lot of that, and then boom, you get hit right upside the head with in the research that I did. I mean, they basically just had a couple. I think they had a kick mic and an overhead mic and just kind of a room mic. They played everything acoustic because they wanted to hear Gord's vocals. They were in, I believe, in the studio that is no longer there. It was like a loft in Toronto that was owned by a couple of the musicians that were a part of, the band that was there and a part of the recording team. Obviously, getting all their schedules together, and various musicians from various different bands within the area, and they just wanted this to be just kind of that raw essence. Right. That for us as hip fans, at least for me, like that's where I fell in love, is like, whether you listen to the music or see them live, like the energy that comes out of every song is palpable on so many different levels. And I think those that have had the experience to enjoy their music, and especially live, like there's such an energy to it, whether it's one of their upbeat, just rocking tunes or a simple acoustic. They really know how to capture the emotion. And this album, Coke Machine Glow, I mean, yeah, wow. It was, again, it just felt like maybe one mic in the room, and they just were circled around each other, and they went for it. One of the other notes that I heard that I thought was pretty surprising is they got a lot out of what was actually recorded, and it sounded a lot bigger than what took place. I can get that. Like you could get a small little, 8-inch speaker and put a mic on it, and it could sound like you've got, 4 Marshall full stacks grinding in front of you. So, there's definitely some magic that can happen in the studio. I do a lot of stuff in theater, and we always talk about how the set or the lights or the sound can become a character. And I think for me, the production elements of Coke Machine Glow became a part of the album. Like, it had to be done that way, in my opinion, to be able to get, capture the energy that it did.